Good morning, Year 6, and welcome to Friday the 5th of February's literacy lesson. So, as last week, every Friday we are going to do a bit of free writing based on a picture or a video stimulus. So, in today's booklet, you should have on the front a website for you to visit, and there is a video for you to watch. It's called SpyFox. Okay, if you type if you can't find it or you don't have the link, if you type into Google SpyFox on Literacy Shed, then you should be able to get the video there. So the first thing that you need to do, first we'll do is we'll read this. So, all is peaceful on the Southern Ocean as the penguins relax on their icebergs. That is until Dr. Hammer and his sardines decide to test their weapons of mass destruction. Once the weapon is unleashed, there is only one person to save the world from disaster, and that is Fox. SpyFox. So a little bit of a James Bond theme. So what I'd like you to do is watch the video all the way through and pause my video while you're watching it. Right, okay then. So the challenge that I'm going to give to you today is the following. So you can either retell the narrative in retell the story of SpyFox in first or third person. If you're fancying more of a challenge, you could write the next adventure of SpyFox using a different wild animal as the villain and including equally inept minions. For example, you could use the idea of a huge ape like King Louie from the Jungle Book with cheeky monkey minions. The hardest is to create a newspaper report for the events that happened in the film. Okay. Now here you can see our must, should and could. So these are for today, use sentences punctuated with capital letter, full stop, question or an exclamation mark. Describe the scene and the characters using adjectives and similes. Short, snappy sentences to build suspense. Show, not tell, to describe the feelings of characters. And a range of conjunctions to extend sentences, and dialogue to advance the story. Right, so before we do start, what you will need to do, I'm just going to go here, is you will need to open up your... Actually, you should have this already to write in today. It should already be in your booklet. So you should have something along the lines of this. Apologies about the printing. There's no colour at the moment. So you should have that, and then on the inside is your must, should, could, and plenty of pages to write on. Okay. Right. So what I've done, and what you might want to do now, you can use mine if you like, is you might want to spend the next few minutes just quickly making a quick plan of what might happen in the story. So you might have to watch the video again and have a go at making a plan. Or if you like, you can use the beginning of mine. All right, now I'm going to write that in a minute. If you're doing trickier or trickiest, because my plan is the retell, you'll have to make your own little plan. So if you're going to do a newspaper report, you have to decide very quickly on what you're going to write about and how that would look in the newspaper. If you're going to write a new adventure, I would suggest a bullet point plan about what would happen in this new adventure. Okay, pause the video while you plan, and then I'll carry on with my plan. Right, so this is my very quick plan. So I've just done a nice day in the Antarctic. Penguins are playing on an iceberg, and a laser blows up the iceberg. Evil Dr. Hammer and his fishhead minions plot to flood the world. And while all this is happening, SpyFox gets a message. He's sat down with, I believe her name is Lily, possibly girlfriend, who knows. And SpyFox gets a message that he's needed to save the world. So then when he arrives at his destination, he finds that there is a sardine factory, but it's surrounded by armed guards guarding the entrance to a hidden base. So he makes his way inside and he finds out that Dr. Hammer is behind the attack and must be stopped. The rest of it I figured is quite easy to write about. So what I'm actually going to do on reflection, the start of this is actually going to play out in a bit of a different way for me. So I'm going to keep switching between this and the visualizer. So first thing I'm going to come up with is a title. So I'm going to call it SpyFox and Let's put the slippery sardine laser. Slippery sardine laser. I haven't planned that very well. Gone off the side there. Now, if you can't think of a title now, wait till the end, because quite often the title is the hardest thing to think of. Right, now I'm not going to write it from this, because I'm going to write it from the point of view of Spry Fox. So, not sure whether to do first person. Might do third person actually. No, I'll tell you what, I'll do first person instead. So I'm actually going to start here where he's on the date with Lily. So as iSpace, I'm going to start with a dialogue opener. And I'm going to make sure that Lily starts speaking first. So she's starting off really hopeful. It's great that you've got the night off work. The night off work. Now, remember a comma at the end of that and then close with inverted commas. Now I'm going to put beamed, Lily. Beamed is like it's a verb to describe somebody smiling an awful lot. So it's great that you've got the time off work, beamed Lily, while handing Fox a glass of, what would a fox drink? Let's put grape juice. Grape juice. Full stop. So I'm going to then start with an English. Smiling kindly back at Lily. Oh, you see I've started in third person. I'll carry on in third person now. Smiling kindly back at Lily, Fox took the glass and swished it round and round, and swished its contents. Suddenly, so now I'm going to describe the part where I'm just looking at my own watch there. So the part where his watch goes up. Suddenly, his secret and personal gadget watch lit up and started buzzing with an alarming call. Full stop. Someone was in danger. Exclamation mark. Someone was in danger. Now I'm going to have Fox speak. I'm sorry, Lily. Ooh, burn. I'm sorry, Lily. This is important. Said Fox with determined... Oh, sorry, I missed A. With a determined look on his face as he gathered his things and now how is he going to walk to the door, because I can't just walk, and sped to the door. Lily was heartbroken. He ditched her again. Oh. Now, I don't know if you recall in the video, later on in the video, Lily has been captured, so I'm going to leave a little clue here. He ditched her again. She collected the still full cups, and took them into the kitchen. Not realising. Oh, wait, no, that's too obvious. Into the kitchen. Now, I'm going to leave a big clue here. I'm going to leave her speech. So, downstairs must be cooking fish for dinner. She said out loud. She said out loud, not hearing the slippery fins. Not hearing, I'm going to change that, the sound of slippery fins on her kitchen floor. ... Oh my God, Lily, what's happened? Right, so that's the beginning of my story there. So slightly different. Changed it from all that and went for this bit here. So now the next part I'd have to write about Spy Fox getting the message that he needed to save the world. Now, I just wanted to show you very much how much you can just write for one picture. Okay, so quite a lot of you, when you've done free writes before, have written a sentence for each picture. And actually, what you can, it's really a good chance for you to start experimenting, particularly with dialogue, and particularly with the things that we've learned over the last few weeks about short, sharp sentences. Someone was in danger, dropping in little clues like the sound of slippery fins on her kitchen floor because she gets kidnapped by the sardine people. So you're not saying to the reader there. One way I could have improved is this part. Lily was heartbroken. I could have definitely maybe used show not tell there instead of just putting Lily was heartbroken. But it just goes to show when you look back at your work, there's still improvements that you can always make. Okay, so what I'd like you to do today is, going back to these, have a look at one of these, pick one of these things to do, plan it very quickly, only take 10 minutes to plan it. And for this, instead of writing the whole narrative, you only have to write the beginning, or you could do the ending, or the mid. I wouldn't do the middle's boring. Do the ending. The ending's always exciting, lots of suspense you could get in there. Or, of course, if you're fancying a real challenge, you can do the newspaper report for the events of the video. Okay? Just a reminder when you finish to do the quick editing, so read it out loud, check your capital letters at the start of sentences and for names and for the names of places, and then full stop, exclamation marks and question marks at the end of the sentence, depending on its sentence type. Okay, Year 6, good luck. I'm looking forward to reading these next week.